You have 5 minutes to make your daughter apologize, my sister said at New Year's, after her boy hit my kid. We all agreed. She started it, Mom said. I said, noted froze their $8 500 cruise, paused every payment, and woke to 153 missed calls and my sister crying in the driveway. My name is Nellie. I'm 35, a single mom to a 7-year-old girl named Mia. The reliable one in a family that treats reliability like an ATM pin. I work in payroll for a logistics company. I color code everything, and I can tell you by cent what's in any account I manage. I grew up in a house where crisis was a hobby and we'll figure it out meant I would figure it out. I'm the oldest. I sign things, I fix things, I pay things. New Year's Eve was supposed to be easy. Paper plates, store-bought macarons, a sparkler, Mia was irrationally excited about. We were at Mom's condo, TV on low, cheap tinsel everywhere. My sister Haley swept in with her boyfriend and her son Tyler, wearing the look she saves for when she needs something. Smile first, demand later. Mia was building a tower out of plastic cups on the coffee table. Tyler kept kicking the table leg because he is sick and bored and no one tells him no. I said, Bud, can you not? He grinned and kicked harder. The tower wobbled. Mia grabbed it with both hands, proud she'd saved it. Haley laughed. Boys will be boys. I took a breath. He can be a boy without booting furniture. Tyler made eye contact with me, then with Mia, and shoved her shoulder. Not a nudge, an ugly two-handed shove. She smacked the corner of the table, gasped, and that sound, tiny shocked, went right through me. Mia's eyes filled. She didn't even cry right away. She just stared at me like the world had tipped. I knelt. You okay? She nodded. The brave kind of nod kids do when they're not. Haley clapped her hands once. Okay, Mia apologized for grabbing the cups. You escalated it. I looked up. You serious? Mom came out of the kitchen with a dish towel on her shoulder like a judge about to rule. We all agreed. She started it. No one likes a tattletale Nellie. We all who I asked. Me and Haley Mom said, don't start. Haley thrust her arms out. You have 5 minutes to make your daughter apologize before we go. I'm not raising a boy who gets blamed every time a girl cries. Mia pressed her face into my shoulder. I could smell her shampoo. I could feel my pulse in my jaw. 5 minutes, I repeated. Clock's ticking, Haley said like she owned the room. I looked at Mom. She didn't look at me. She wiped a spotless counter with the towel. Performative. Bored. Done. I said noted, and I shut my mouth before I said the thing you can't take back. I didn't move. I didn't coax an apology out of my kid to make a bully comfortable. I sat there with Mia, breathing in little gasps, and I let the seconds pass, counting them, with the slow sweep of the TV countdown graphic in the corner. The room went tight. Haley rolled her eyes. Mom sighed like I'd made the evening inconvenient. Outside, a neighbor set off a premature firework. Inside, something in me finally clicked into place. Quiet, clean, cold. You don't get to my level of reliable by accident. At 21, when Dad left mid-interview to find himself, I found the overdue notices. I took on a second job. I called the electric company, learned the script, and cried exactly twice. Once in my car, once in the bathroom at work, and then I stopped. When Haley blew her first lease after 2 months of freelance jewelry, I co-signed her next one, paid the deposit, and drove the U-Haul. When Mom's dentist stopped seeing her because of the balance, I put it on my card and moved my own cleaning to someday. It's embarrassing what you get used to explaining to bank reps. Yes, I know the charge says Cruise World. Yes, it's mine. Yes, I understand the cancellation policy. No, I can't add my sister as authorized. She overspends. Yes, it's a family trip. No, I don't want the travel protection. I already have savings for emergencies. I said all that with the calm of a person who has to be the adult even when she's exhausted. Haley has a talent for arriving exactly when my guard is down. 2 years ago, she cried on my couch about daycare costs. Tyler's on a wait list for the good one. The cheap one is sticky. I added him to my FSA. Temporary, I told myself. A year ago, she needed a new phone for work. I added her to my plan. So you can reach me, she said, which translated to, so I can treat data like air. Mom's internet mine. Mom's emergency Costco runs mine. Mom's HBO so she can watch period dramas about women like me dying in silence. Also mine. It's ridiculous the little ways they remind you you're a wallet with legs. Nellie, you're so good with money. Mom would purr, which somehow meant I should pay for everything. Family helps family, Haley would chirp, which somehow meant I help and she benefits. I tried boundaries. I did. Hey, if you're 2 months behind in rent again, we need to talk about budgeting. Haley called me judgmental and posted a story about toxic people who act like friends and think they're better. When I asked Mom to split the cost of Thanksgiving since she invited 12 people, and my paycheck is not a cornucopia, She said I raised you like it was an invoice I hadn't paid. The family cruise, sighs and gasps. That cruise was a perfect example. Mom found a deal in July. 7 nights balconies, memories forever. She waved the brochure under my nose until I said yes. I put the deposit down because Mom's credit card was acting funny. Haley promised to send her share Friday. Friday came and went. Then next Friday. Then I'll give you cash when I sell this necklace. She did not sell the necklace. I paid the second installment to avoid fees. You're such a lifesaver. Mom texted with a string of confetti emojis like gratitude could be paid in gifts. I told myself I'd collect later. Reliable people think that way. We front the cost of peace and hope to be paid back in respect. The week before New Year's, I bought Mia a rainbow dress on sale and wrote sparkler apple juice paper hats on a Post-it. Haley called the night before already annoyed. What time are you bringing snacks? Tyler doesn't eat those off-brand pretzels you get. Bring what he eats, I said. She huffed. I'm stretched thin. You know I'm saving for the cruise. Haley, you haven't sent a dime for the cruise. Silence then. Well, you said you'd handle the booking. Don't throw it in my face. When I got to Mom's on New Year's Eve, the little signs were there. Mom's funny tone when she asked if I brought the charcuterie board like I was her caterer. Haley's boyfriend parking in my spot like we didn't have assigned spaces. The group chat pinging with inspo boards for matching cruise outfits. All links, no budgets. I scrolled past pictures of linen sets that cost my weekly grocery bill. Then the shove happened. Then the ultimatum. Then the 5 minutes ended. I didn't force Mia to apologize. I said noted because there are moments where words get wasted and the only thing that counts is what you do next. Haley made a show of checking her watch. We're leaving. I'm not doing this with you. Okay, I said. Wow, she scoffed. You're making a scene. I looked around at the quiet room and almost laughed. Where's the scene? I asked. Point to the scene. Mom finally looked at me. Nellie, be reasonable. It's New Year's. You're right, it is. They left. The door shut with that dumb, hollow apartment door sound that always feels final, but never is. I held Mia until her breath slowed. I wiped her face with a dishcloth because Mom doesn't keep tissues. The TV showed strangers in sequins counting down to someone else's joy. I set the sparkler aside. On the drive home, Mia fell asleep, head against the window, little mouth open. I thought about the cruise. I thought about the auto pays I set up because it's easier. I thought about how many times I'd bought silence with money and called it love. At a red light, I opened the Notes app and typed 2 lines. Stop funding bad behavior. Pay myself first. No drama, no announcement, just a plan. A small thing had already happened that week, a warning I ignored. I found out Mom added Haley as a trusted contact to her bank profile and put my number as the recovery phone because you pick up. I said, Mom, this is not a good idea. She said, don't be so negative. I changed nothing. That's the trap. They train you to keep the peace until the peace costs too much. It was about to get expensive for them. New Year's Day, 9:12 a.m. My phone buzzed. Haley, we need to reset. Tyler's fine. Make Mia apologize so we can all move on. I stared at the screen, thumb hovering. I was still in pajamas, coffee, cooling Mia on the floor, with markers drawing a lopsided firework. I called instead of texted. Haley answered on a speaker. Mom was with her. I heard the clink of a mug. You have 5 minutes to apologize to my kid, Haley said. Not joking, not soft. No, I said. Silence. Then Mom Nellie, don't be petty, Mom said. It was a misunderstanding. Mom, I said evenly. I was there. Haley jumped in. You always turn everything into a federal case. Literally no one else cares. Say sorry and stop poisoning Mia. I took a breath. Here's what's going to happen. I'm not making my daughter apologize for getting shoved. I'm not discussing it further, and I'm not paying to be insulted. What does that mean? Mom snapped. It means I said you're going to feel the weight of my no. You wouldn't, Haley said, quick scared for the first time. Try me, I said, and hung up. I put my phone face down. My hands were steady. My heart was not. I looked at Mia, who looked at me like she was checking if the floor was safe. It is, I told her, it's safe. And then I opened my laptop. People think the freeze is dramatic. It's not. It's clicking buttons you've been avoiding and watching the meter change from green to gray. First, the cruise. Total balance, $8,532.40. I'd paid the deposit and the second chunk. Final payment was due in 2 weeks. I logged in, read the policy like a lawyer, and canceled within the window that returned partial funds minus fees. I moved the refund into a separate savings account nicknamed Ceilings, Not Floors. I screenshotted everything. Dates, amounts, the parts where Haley promised to pay next Friday. I didn't send them. I saved them in a folder called Receipts. Next, the auto pays. Mom's internet off. Mom's streaming bundle off. The Costco executive membership Haley used downgraded to basic. The phone plan, I called the carrier and removed Haley's line at the end of the billing cycle. She'll be notified, the rep said gently. That's fine, I said. She's very aware when it's time to post stories about gratitude. The car insurance I'd been covering for Haley through winter canceled. The additional card on my credit account in Mom's name for emergencies locked, then removed. The Venmo auto reload for Mom's bingo night off. I unsubscribed from the family Apple Cash chat because being the person who makes the green bubble happen is a curse. Then I called the bank and removed my number as recovery for Mom's account. I added alerts to mine, no third-party requests. I reset every password, and when the prompt asked for a trusted contact, I typed my own name and laughed. By noon, my phone looked like a siren. 17 missed calls, then 34, then 61. Haley, what did you do to my phone? Mom, the internet is down. Fix it now. Haley, I have work. Mom, the cruise site says canceled. Is this a glitch, Haley? Nellie, Mom, very funny. Haley, answer me. I made lunch for Mia, mac and peas, folded laundry, and let the calls pile up. Not because I'm cruel, but because if you keep answering, they keep pretending your time is theirs. At 2:03 p.m., Mom texted, "You're being cruel to your family after everything I've done." I typed, "I have the receipts for everything I've done," then deleted it. I sent nothing. At 4:19 p.m., I took Mia to the park. She mastered the wobble bridge. She looked at me and yelled, "I'm brave." It hit me in the chest so hard I had to sit down. At 5:02 p.m., Haley called 11 times in a row. I silenced the ringer. 5 minutes later, a car pulled into my driveway too fast. Haley got out mascara, already smudged phone in her hand like a weapon. She didn't knock. She started talking as soon as I opened the door. "You're psychotic. Petty. My phone is off. The insurance says I'm uninsured. Mom is in tears. And the cruise, what kind of monster cancels a trip for her own mother?" Tyler was looking forward to the kids' club. "Do not bring your son into this," I said. "He's not a shield." Tears gathered instantly. "You don't get it. I have so much on my plate." Behind me, Mia peeked from the hall. I bent to her level. "Hey, go pick a movie. I'll be 5 minutes. Haley laughed. "Yeah, go pick a movie, Mia. Mommy's busy ruining lives." I stepped onto the porch and shut the door behind me. Haley folded her arms. "Turn it back on." "No," I said. She blinked. "No, that's it. You think you can just—" "I think I can stop sponsoring people who treat my kid badly," I said. "I think I can stop paying to be insulted. And I think I can stop being your wallet." "Family helps family," she snapped. "I agree," I said. "Family also protects children. You gave my daughter 5 minutes to apologize for being shoved." She grabbed the cups, Haley said. "She held cups," I said. "Your son shoved her. You demanded a performance to make your kid comfortable. I'm not doing that." She scoffed. "So you cancel a cruise like a psycho." "I canceled a luxury I paid for," I said. "I canceled autopays I set up. I paused the gravy train." "You owe Mom," Haley shouted. "Mom raised me and I paid rent from 19 onward. Here." I pulled out my phone and opened the receipts folder. This is her electric bill for 2021. This is her root canal. This is the down payment for your Prius you let get repossessed and then told people it was stolen. "Do you want me to send these to the family chat or do you want to lower your voice?" Her face went blotchy. "You're heartless." A car door slammed. Mom marched up the walkway, hair in curlers like a crown fury bright. "Nellie, enough. Turn my internet back on. Call the cruise people. This isn't you." "It's exactly me," I said. "It's the me who is done paying for abuse." Mom stepped closer. "If you don't do this, you're not invited to my birthday. I won't forget this. I'll send a card." She pointed at my chest. "You're bitter because no one wanted you in high school. You always punish us when you're sad." I felt that one. It was cheap and precise. I let it land. I let it pass. "Mom," I said, slow like unspooling thread. "You and Haley taught me what happens when I set a boundary. You punish. You withhold love and watch me fix it with money. I'm done." Haley's voice wobbled. "So what? We're just cut off." From my wallet, I said, "Yes." "Mom will lose the cruise," Haley said. "Return it now." "I already did," I said. "And don't worry. The partial refund went to the person who paid." Mom went still. "You're stealing from me." "I'm not," I said. "I'm returning to me." She opened her mouth, closed it. Her eyes flicked to the window. She saw Mia's little shadow pass by. "Fine," Haley said, flipping from rage to wounded. "We'll remember this when you need us." "When have I needed you?" I asked, genuinely curious. Mom's face crumpled. She'd run out of scripts. They left angry, which is their favorite coat. As her car pulled away, my phone buzzed with a new group chat. Family only. I watched the messages ping. "Aunt Joy, what's going on, Mom? Nellie canceled our trip out of spite. Haley, she won't pay for anything anymore. Cousin Beth, wait. She was paying Mom, don't pile on. She's sensitive." I typed nothing. I made popcorn for Mia. We watched a movie with glittery horses and terrible songs. Mia fell asleep on my lap. I didn't cry. The numb I expected didn't come either. Instead, a low, steady hum settled in. Relief flavored with fear, like stepping off a too tight shoe and remembering how feet work. By morning, I had 153 missed calls. I took a screenshot purely for the symmetry of it. At 7:41 a.m., there was a knock. I opened the door to find Haley in my driveway again. Not mascara streaked this time. Red-eyed, shaky. "Please," she said, voice small. "My phone is really off. I can't get to work. I can't call Uber. Tyler's dad is useless. I need my line back." "You need your own plan," I said. "I can't get approved," she whispered. "That's not my emergency." I was surprised how calm I sounded. "I will help you make a budget. I will sit with you and apply for a cheaper plan. I will not add you back to mine." She swallowed. "So I'm just stuck." "You're an adult," I said. "You're not stuck. You're uncomfortable." She cried quieter this time. "Can you at least tell Mom you're sorry?" "No, I'm not sorry. Tyler didn't mean. I don't care what he meant. I care what he did. He needs to apologize. You owe my kid that." Her eyes darted. "He's just a kid." "So is Mia," I said, "and she deserves safety." She stared at me like she'd rearranged the furniture in her brain and left it messy. She wiped her face, nodded once, turned to go, then paused. "Are you really keeping the cruise money?" "It's my refund from my payment," I said. "I'll use it to take my kid somewhere she's wanted to go since June." "Where?" she asked, suspicious. "The indoor water park 15 minutes from here. She gets to pick the big slide." She scoffed like the water park had personally offended her. "Pathetic." "Affordable," I said, and closed the door. Inside, my phone kept buzzing. I set it to do not disturb and put it in a drawer. I made pancakes. Mia woke up clumsy and grinning. "Is it today?" "It can be," I said. "Pack your swimsuit. Here's what people don't tell you about stopping the family money machine. It's quiet. No thunderclap. Just space where the next crisis used to land. And in that space, you hear your own life." They cycled through tantrums. Mom cried elder abuse. I replied once, then stopped. Haley sent trauma essays. I offered a spreadsheet. She left me on read. I took Mia to the water park. $38 pretzels. Her hand in mine. My paycheck lasted. Savings rose. Fewer red envelopes. Mia stopped flinching at Tyler's name. 2 weeks later, Tyler apologized. Mia said I accept. Haley got a prepaid plan. "Good," I replied. Boundary, not bridge. I'm not brand new. The cruise app still twists my gut, but I stopped paying to be hurt. I moved $200 to ceilings, not floors, for the life we choose. Mia said, "Can I pick the next slide?" "Yeah," I said. "You can pick a lot now." I don't need a cruise to prove family. I need a safe home. I built it. I'll protect it. I won't be invoiced for love.